Welcome to Another Cup, part of the Exchange Coffee Podcasting Network, presented by Covoya Specialty Coffee, where coffee is always a collaborative voyage. Another Cup is devoted to conversations with suppliers, customers, and all the relationships in between. In Episode 7, Covoya's Managing Director Rob Stephen talks with Liesa Collins, Sales Analyst at Covoya Specialty Coffee.
Welcome, Liesa Collins.
Hello.
Hello. Here on my left, your right, is Liesa Collins, who is our sales analyst at Covoya Specialty Coffee. And I am Rob Stephen. I also work here at Covoya Specialty Coffee. And we are here with Mike, our erstwhile producer, to get to know you a little bit. So welcome.
Thanks. Yeah. Happy to be here.
So you and I have known each other for a little while. Mm-hmm. And I think you have a really cool backstory, and so just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got here. Start as early as you want.
Yeah. Well, day one, born in the UK. Me and my family moved here when I was 4. Not here. We moved to Richmond, Virginia. So that is where I was raised and ended up in art school, and that was really cool, downtown Richmond. And from art school, landed at a nonprofit arts center. So worked there in a couple of different jobs. I did registrar work. I worked in development. I ultimately landed as their office manager. So that was just a lot of everything, wearing lots of different hats. And I became just really good at systems and data management. Very much get that from my father. We're a very tech-forward family. So I was working there when I met Rob, and that was really cool and fun to learn about what Rob did. And it always sounded very impressive, and it was like a whole new world. So I was feeling, run down at the job there. Been there for 6 years. Me and my husband were looking kind of for a new venture, and Rob called me and said, "Hey, I got one. I got one for you. You want to come up? You want to move your whole life to I know you just bought a house."
Yep. In Richmond.
In Richmond. Yeah. I know, all that. So we moved here for this gig, and it's been incredible. It has been truly amazing.
I love your story.
Yeah.
So when art school, what was your original intention?
I worked in an art gallery. I was in photography and film, and it was less to be a working, practicing artist and more to be in the networking arts management side of it. Being like the front-facing gallery girl who also got to work on exhibitions was like so exciting. And so I knew that I wanted to do less of becoming a magazine photographer or something along that, or making films. I wanted to be networking, and I wanted to work in that, admin space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know anywhere near as much about that world as you do, but it seems like there's a lot of managing a lot of different personalities, and and yet there's a number side to it, and there's figuring out how to get stuff done quickly, and it's usually high stakes, and it sounds a lot like the job you have now.
Yes. It's, wearing a lot of hats and having to learn how to wear those hats, sitting in that cockpit, looking around, knowing all the buttons. Yeah, it's you have to be very adaptive, and you have to also care about it. There's so much heart and mission work in, working in nonprofit and arts, and then also, as I've learned, in coffee. There's so much nice special stuff to the admin. It's nice when has that duality.
Yeah. So I mean, if as our listeners would know from talking to somebody like Todd or Mark, there's a lot of people that are sort of front facing in our industry who are really good with coffee, the product, or the selling of it and the buying of it and the things like that. But I think what a lot of people know or less familiar with is that there's a lot that happens behind the scenes with coffee, right? So we talked with Melissa in our last episode, who really is key to getting coffee from where it is to where it needs to be, which is pretty key part of what we do, right?
Huge.
Yeah, right. And so with that in mind, and we'll sort of go back and revisit sort of what your journey through coffee has been like. But what do you do, and sort of what's the thing about how you go about your day to day that customers would be sort of either surprised or interested to know happens?
Yeah. So started out trading assistant. So it was a lot of contract writing. It was a lot of customer response, being available if our traders are ever doing other things. It's just kind of being on that front line, ready to help out whenever, sending releases through. I was a part of the futures team pretty early on. That was something that was brand new. And so a lot of that is doing market fixes for our customers as well. Yeah, kind of just a, hey, help. And, me being like, I can help. I got you. Yeah.
No, I think you're being very modest. I describe your position as the glue, right? And so there's a lot of things that if everything went according to plan, would just work. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that is occasionally frustrating, but mostly challenging and rewarding about coffee is that things very rarely go to plan. Right. And so you sort of need to have someone who has eyes on everything, who can say, all right, this is going to happen over here, and be decisive and understand the ramifications of it and the financial impact and the all that stuff. And so, I had the opportunity to watch you do that at your last role, because I knew you personally outside of work, and just watched you navigate those kinds of situations. I said, yeah, you'd be great at this.
Yeah. I'm pretty sticky when it comes to being the glue. So
yeah,
it's good.
So what's it been like to get parachuted into the coffee industry and knowing nothing about it? And then, I don't think you even drink coffee.
No, I do drink coffee, but it's iced all year round.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's always some oat milk in there. So I have appreciation for the pure coffee, and I have more now. But jumping into this, was wild. There's so much history and so much community, and it's all across the world. I think my first week here, everyone was like, hey, well, everybody needs coffee. We always say that. We're always like, it's something everybody drinks. You could be Joe, you could be Sue, like everyone's drinking coffee, And so that's been really fun to be like taking it from, we grew up drinking, whatever kind of coffee in our house, to now understanding how it gets from farm to roaster to customer is just incredible. There's so many steps. There's a lot of good people. When I was in my first cupping, it was like, wait, you guys can talk about coffee like this? Like,
yeah.
What do you mean stone fruit? What do you mean this tastes like cotton candy?
Yeah.
It's opened my whole world.
All the coffee's coffee flavored. Yeah.
It's like this bean water has so much depth.
Yeah. I mean, it's been really interesting over the years as I've worked in coffees. Some people come in and they know even more than they should, and right. And some people come in with absolutely fresh eyes, and really start at ground zero. But everyone progresses at their own pace, right? And it's been really cool watching how quickly you've taken to it. There's a part of it that you and I kind of learned together, which is not to say that I started from zero, but the futures part of it.
Yes.
Right. So in this role is the first time I ever really had to manage a full-on futures book,
yes.
From beginning to end. And so a lot of the time that I was learning, you were learning it as well. And there's been a few nights where we've been sitting here at 6:00 still going, wait, what?
It's a crazy world.
Yeah.
Just like, market trading period is wild and, almost exclusive in the way that not a lot of people understand it. But like commodities trading has like another, level to it. And so not only having to learn like market, practices, but also seeing how it relates to us, and it being so non-tangible, it's like it is related to physical coffee, but you also have this, this futures coffee. It's just crazy. It's hard to wrap your mind around. And yeah, that was the biggest learning curve for me, at least. Not the math part of it. I always was good at math.
Yeah, you are good at math. Yeah.
But everything else, yeah.
So what's your favorite thing about working at Covoya? Not to put you on the spot.
No. I love that question. It's very collaborative. Like, I don't know if we've ever talked about it before. We have an open floor plan, and so it's almost inescapable to not have to hear everybody else's conversations and also, jump into them when it's like, oh wait, I have something to add to that. It's like one of my favorite things is when we actually have a full office and everyone can just, be rolling so fast, getting problems fixed and coffee sold. And yeah, I like that. I like how it's I care a lot about working for something cool. Like, it sounds pretty surface level, but coming from the art world, it's like, oh, it's just so cool. Like, this business is so cool, and I like being a part of it for that reason. It's a cool flex. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, we have a full office today, which is I'm having the warm fuzzy feeling.
Yeah, it feels so good. Yeah, it's so nice.
Yeah, the open plan where everyone hears everyone talking. It's by design, right? And it's because me and a few of the other folks here, I mean, in our early apprenticeship days, had the opportunity to sit on floors like that and hear experienced people talking and hear them go through a range of experiences from good days to bad days and solving problems and just sort of, how to walk and how to talk and chew gum at the same time and all those. And so to have that ability to sort of have that keep going and have someone like you come in and just get dropped in and be able to learn from everybody around you, I think it's a really cool thing. It's
the best space to learn. Like, isolated remote work, it's like, how am I supposed to, there's just so much you pick up when you're here and you're in the cupping room and you're hearing conversations, and yeah, it's almost necessary.
Yeah. What's your sort of, you can phrase it any way you want, least favorite, most challenging part?
I mean, I'm a problem fixer, so if I ever do come across a challenge, it's kind of like I'm a dog on a trail. So something, I guess, if I've ever gotten into a challenge that I couldn't solve, I couldn't fix, that becomes frustrating. I have a rock star mentality. So I'll tell you, working on the AR side, sometimes that can be frustrating. It's like, oh, you want coffee? You have to pay us. You pay us, we'll give you coffee.
Yeah. You heard it here, folks. Just make Liesa's day better, will you?
Just pay us.
Maybe we should pause for a drink.
Okay.
What else should we talk about?
I don't know. You've been on this show a bunch of times.
I have been on the show.
Is there anything that you've never spoken about?
That I've never spoken of?
That you want people to, we could talk here for probably 3 hours.
Yeah. For me, in the context of this conversation, you're like a super interesting case that proves my theory of it, of how this can work.
Right.
Right. So we're about to see it again with Hannah, who is a customer service person starting today, has never been in coffee.
Yeah.
Before. Right. Yeah. But my theory of how to sort of create value in the coffee industry is that it starts with the person, and it starts with their temperament and their raw skill set.
Absolutely.
Right. Coffee is a thing that can be trained like anything else, but you can't make somebody easy to talk to, and you can't make somebody, very eager to solve problems or eager to jump in and handle things and have the right risk reward scenario, right? And so you find that in people and you say, I think they'd be good in this as long as they were put in a place where they could learn.
Right.
And so to watch you thrive here has been like, it's actually right,
Yes.
Yeah. And, I think, especially, if for our listeners, for example, if you have a coffee company or you have a small roasting business or a medium roasting business or a large roasting business, if you are trying to create depth, right? It's this availability of knowledge and a culture of spreading it that sort of creates that depth, right? And that's something that we've all worked really hard at here. And it's sort of like the only ticket the only price of admission here is that you need to be willing to be a part of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Is if you can fit in, and not in like a way like that. You understand what we're doing. If you are excited about working together, if our missions align, yeah, we can work with anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also think that it creates like a feedback loop, right? Because, it's like you can work on stuff together, but whether you're a supplier in us or where you're a roaster and working with us, or even with us working with other sister companies. It's like if you have that sort of like, yeah, I'm totally in this and we're going to solve the problem together, it creates that willingness on the other side and then stuff gets done. Right. And I really enjoy that. And I think that that's where the sort of glue aspect of what you do comes back into play, right? Because it's sort of like, even if we drop the ball, it's going to get picked up. Right. And that's a part of trust.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And a lot of my job is like seeing trends in the data, and even just like having been here for 2 years, you start to get to know people better, which is just, like if two friends were to sit down, it's like in the end, it's all data building. It's all data, intake. And so with customer facing situations, you learn to get to know each other. You understand, oh, so-and-so is like that. That's my favorite thing whenever you get all the traders in the same place, is you guys have these incredible stories of so-and-so, or we're on a sales call and, one of our sales reps wants to bring a certain company back, and, 3 of you chime in and you've got advice or history there. I think that is such an incredible part of the industry. And I think here we do a really good job of not making it seem like a if you know club. I think you guys do a really good job of putting it into educational moments, and it's cool.
You've been listening to Another Cup, part of the Exchange Coffee Podcasting Network, presented by Covoya Specialty Coffee and produced by me, Mike Ferguson. Our theme music for this episode is Finding the Solution from Lemon Music Studio. You can email me with questions, thoughts, ideas, or your favorite Ted Lasso episode, wait for it, at mike.ferguson@covoya.com. And as always, thanks for listening.
So I understand that Ted Lasso is your favorite show. Did you want to talk about that? We have some time, so...
Cut the track. Turn it off, Mike. I will never watch Ted Lasso. Yes. I have no interest in it.
Yes, I thought you were an open book. Anyway.